So to attack that blue, you can't actually reattack it. It would have to catch some kind of crazy hold level, which isn't existent right now. I guess there could be something right here. 1 minute chart, go here. There's a little tiny a valley right here. Oh, come on. There's a little tiny one right here. Whether like you're talking about hitting a 1 minute hold level, like this is, I don't really see this as happening. Like this doesn't exactly scream, hey, I should buy based on this hold level. So it's a 1 minute valley that's 3 candles. So this is not screaming like, oh, opportunities are arising, we're all about to make a ton of money. This, more importantly, you're looking to kind of break out of this trend. Like you just have to kind of fall down to something and hold it. Like you just have to. But this stuff like this is going to be failure. Even if this is like that, it's going to be failure down here, right? So you have to hit a hold level of significance. Like okay, sure, maybe right here, but even this is already been tested. Like you could see the hold level right here, right? So fine, there's a hold level right here. It was already tested right here. And so these are like already tested levels. So we have to start thinking larger time frame, because we're starting to move. Like this is starting to turn into hourly candles. Like you're starting to turn these into large 15-minute candles. Like there's a lot going on here with very little to grasp, right? So I guess in a 15-minute time sense, you have something pretty right here, but that's already been tested too. So really, your next valley is down here. That's kind of when I started this thing. I said like this move is really thin. Like it probably is going to push down, and then you break down the local time events, and you even go to an hourly chart, and there's just nothing there. There's just nothing here. Like your next even conceivable hold level is right here, which at that point you might just be breaking trend, right? You might just be breaking trend. So this blue trend right here, we might have to validate this blue trend, right? Like this is even this trend right here. We might have to validate that, or we might even have to break down to this trend here and ladder up. I don't know. Not until the move shows more of itself. But what I can tell you right now is, like when I said at the beginning of this thing an hour ago, is that this looks like it's failing, and it's done nothing but move down since. So it's very thin. This move is very thin. It's very fragile. It doesn't have a lot to hold it up. Take that with a grain of salt, I guess. If it does start holding something, that's also showing you extreme strength. Like if it does decide to start holding this for a long period of time, like if it just kind of goes like this and just holds this level for a while, like that's pretty, to the opposite effect of it's just, it looks really thin. If it can hold something this thin, obviously it's super strong, right? So to that same effect, if it can hold one of these super thin levels, then like that's really strong, because the level is so thin and it's not failing. That's a form of strength, right? Every coin is going to be doing this in one form or another. It's just the way they have set up swing moves against their, like if you look at Raven coin here, where it pulled back against its hold level, like this was the hold level right here. You can see where Raven coin actually had swung against that hold level. I believe this was a daily. I remember charting this and looking at this thing, which created the trend, which almost every coin did this same kind of pattern. That came straight down, it came back up and tested that hold level and created a trend that it needs to break. And then stuff like DLT broke it and it moved up pretty crazy, right? So there's a lot of coins trying to do this right now, and then you just look at the hold level. Like this hold level, you can see this hold level is trying to, Raven did try to hold this level, that broke down, so it's going to come back and try to hold this level, which is holding right now. So like you can see where Raven coin has established its move. Like you can see where it stopped and why, right? So you can see that there's this cycle of distribution here, and it probably even tried to stop at this level too, right here. I assume this was a pretty decent spot where it would hold too, right? Yeah, hold level there, breaks down, hold level here, breaks down, hold level here, breaks down. So every coin has been trying to do this. Like they've been trying to find their hold level. So this is going to be a very common pattern you see right now. What I would start looking for is coins like Skycoin, some things that have a trend that was preset from the past before the events of right now, because it's just you look at the size of trend it's breaking, and something like Skycoin where, oh come on, auto, stupid auto feature. You see something like Skycoin where it has this trend here and it is broken that. You're not just breaking a daily trend, right? So this is why Skycoin is so interesting right now, because it's breaking a super long-term trend. kind of against this level that it has been trying to gain for a long time. So Skycoin is most likely coming up to 328. There is a couple moves right now that have this long-term trend break, right? A couple moves that right now, like if you're to pick between Ravencoin and Skycoin, I would say take Skycoin in an instance, but take Skycoin in the moment that it's going to break out, because if it breaks out in this moment and you come back up to test that level, you come back up to wherever that was, where I marked, I think it was right here. You come back up and test this level. It's a good move, but the trend it's breaking is much larger. We talked about this a bit, but we talked about a lot. So wouldn't surprise me if we need to do a refresher on this one thing here. So this is kind of like the thing, right? It's you kind of don't even need to have the leg of the move, to be honest with you. Like if you were to delete this, you could actually just save the worry about, okay, what do I do at that level? Because there's kind of like you have three events here, right? We're just going to mark them like this. We're just going to mark hold, break, hold, right? So that's what you had here. You had hold, break, hold. Now, this isn't something how I would always trade, but there is a certain amount of information here that you can glean to kind of increase your decision making and logic when you have to make the ability to say, okay, I want to make the right decisions. There are some things you can do that they can't be what you always do. It can't be the rule that you create, I guess is the best way to say it. It can't be the if this is doing this, I'm always going to do X. There should never be I'm always going to do, right? It should always adapt based on what the charts are showing. But in this example here, we have this kind of these three levels. And do you have anything else? Yeah, so you just have those 1, 2, 3 levels there. You actually have a fourth. So you actually also have this one right here, which you have another one of these down here, these break levels down here. Let's just get rid of that. So this is a situation where you've identified hold, break, hold, break. So if this can't hold, it will target the next leg. So we know that to be true. Why there's a 1 day dump, right? Like that. That's why there's a 1 day dump. So we know you have two levels here. So let's identify this as 1 and 2 to start, because you actually have 1 and 2 there, just like you have 1 and 2 here. So let's identify this first 1 and 2. We know that if 1 cannot hold, if 1 fails, 2 will be hit. And if 2 will be hit, 2 is breaking the move, which means it's going to attack the next trend. So in that sense, we know if 1 fails, it will attack the next one. So you can actually cut 2 out completely, especially since you're in a downtrend. You don't always have this happen in uptrends, because you can actually hold 2s in uptrends for different reasons. Of course, different material, different workshop stuff would be too much to get into in this. But in a downtrend like this, you can almost say, if 1 fails, you attack the next one, because if 1 fails, it attacks 2, and 2 is a level that's set for failure. So technically, if you hit 2, you're failing the move automatically anyway. So there can almost actually be no 2. For that reason, exactly. That's why I don't draw these legs on downtrends. You don't have this, and you don't have this. So just like if this is 1 and this is the 2 here, then you would have the next hold level, which would be right here, which is this 1. So you can almost completely disregard this level and just say, if this fails, just buy here. You see what I mean? Because 2s don't exist, because 2s are meant to break, right? So you can actually just do this and just start buying the H's and not the B's. And now you're doing this now. So let's circle where we are. Actually, we don't need to circle. We could just do like a 4-hour breakdown here. You would actually look for the next hold level, which would be right here. You would actually go and be buying this, which is an hourly, which is the leg. So you're probably just going to buy the 4-hour right here. That looks like it could be a 12-hour. If that's a 12-hour, nope. Okay, so where's the 4-hour here? Well, we know that there's 1 there, and we know there's 1 there. That's fine. You have 1 here that's already tested, of course, comes, it holds that, which is a lower time frame hold of, come on, the hourly right here. Or it could be here, I guess. I'm not sure, unless you break down the hourly chart. But anyway, whatever it is here. So you'd have an hourly downtrend start here, possibly. You'd have to find the trend in here. Oh, well, let's go find it. That's fine. We've got time. So then you have this right here. You could say it's this right here, but I mean, that would be a little silly to say I'm not buying 526 because I want to buy 520. Like that's a little silly. If you're looking to buy off distribution from 1800 sats, like you're better off just and even at that, you're better off just assuming this is a 4-hour valley, even though it's not. You're better off just buying. Well, actually, 530, 533. Yeah, you're better off not being greedy and just buying the level, right? So then you go to this side of the chart, and actually this is a hold level too. Come on. So then you go and you just look at where these hold levels are, never even worrying about buying the break of the move, the leg, right? And you just get your perfect entries every single time. Every single time you're getting your perfect entries. Like it's never failing you. You're always just you're always just getting your perfect entries, right? It's this inverse, doesn't quite attack. This is pretty close though. This is pretty close. I would not be so concerned about not wicking that exactly. More, I'd be looking at what it does against trend. So no matter which side of the chart you go on, up or down, like you inverse your chart, no matter what side you go on, right? Like this could be Bitcoin. Like this looks like Bitcoin is right now. Like Bitcoin is falling down. Like so are a lot of these other coins going to fall down. Like in their case, they're falling up, right? Or moving up. But in the case where you have come up and tested, say, the inverse level and stopped there, right? As opposed to the break level right there, you're creating a ladder. Right. So when you target inverse hold levels, you're just still laddering in that same direction, as opposed to breaking the move, which is stopping a ladder, which is also breaking trend. Inverse levels create trends. Well, both levels create trends. It's just one is a sharper trend. Quite simply, back attack in the valley becomes target. You see, it will become target, and then when this target executes, you can go after the larger target, which is up here. And when that executes, you can go after the larger target, which is here. And then you can start going through your higher time frames and saying, okay, well, what do we? This is a daily. What is it going to take to get to the daily? Yeah, we actually just want to color this red. As opposed to hitting an inverse level like this. Or what did engine do here? Okay, so engine hit trend. That's fine. That's exactly what it would do. ENG hits trend to the level, right? Compression. We talked about this last week about how this level actually can't even get attacked because the trend is acting as a shield. So in this case, inverse level is basically just trend. It's preset to fail. It can't actually move up because of trend. So actually, it just hits trend perfectly and probably did it based off of a hold level. I would assume this is like a little short 1 hour hold level in here. Hey everyone, how's it going? As you know, I'm now giving out some of this content for free that I was otherwise charging for the past little while. Drop a donation, subscribe to the channel, join Patreon. You'll get access to Discord. Great way. Lots of top level traders in there, people who are doing this for a career every single day. So go to Patreon, join a tier, get access to Discord. Go on Reddit, talk about future of trading, talk about the science of trading, talk about cotton candy, socials, everything you can. Let's help this thing grow. It's the way you guys can thank me for giving out this content for free that I was otherwise charging money for. So I'll leave a Bitcoin address on the screen. I'll leave the Patreon address on the screen. Just do something to help out. Okay, thanks guys. Take care.